Hey there, gamers! Welcome to Pixel Quest Ultimate Game Reviews. I'm your host, Emma Reeves, and I'm super excited to take you on a journey through the world of gaming. Today, we're diving into the iconic Half-Life 2, the shooter that changed everything. Grab your controllers and get ready for an in-depth look at this groundbreaking game that shook up the gaming industry. Let's press start and jump right in. All right, let's rewind a bit and go back to the early 2000s. The first-person shooter FPS genre was dominated by games like Doom, Quake, and Half-Life. Sure, they were groundbreaking in their own right, but they mostly followed a linear approach with little to no narrative depth. They were all about running and gunning, which was fun, but gamers were yearning for something more immersive. Enter Half-Life 2, a game that set out to change everything we thought we knew about FPS games. At this time, the stage was set for a revolution in the genre. Okay, so when Half-Life 2 finally arrived after all the delays and anticipation, it was like the gaming world collectively held its breath. People were so hyped, and it was honestly a make-or-break moment for Valve. Everyone was hoping it would live up to the legendary status of the original Half-Life game, and man did it deliver. The new physics engine, the immersive storytelling, the graphics, everything felt like it was on another level. I remember the buzz around it. Gamers were just blown away. It was like Half-Life 2 wasn't just a game, it was a glimpse into the future of gaming. And then there was the Source engine. That thing was a game changer in itself. It wasn't just about Half-Life 2, it was about what this game represented for the entire industry. The initial reactions were off the charts. Critics and gamers alike were singing its praises. It wasn't just a shooter, it was a whole experience. And it set a new standard for what a game could be. It was like the gaming world had a collective whoa moment, and everyone knew things were never going to be the same again. Alright, so let's talk about how Half-Life 2 revolutionized game mechanics and physics. This game brought a whole new level of interactivity and immersion to the first-person shooter genre. One of the standout features was the gravity gun, which allowed players to manipulate objects in the environment and use them as weapons. This brought a new level of dynamic gameplay and problem-solving to the table. Another groundbreaking aspect of Half-Life 2 was its physics engine. The game's realistic physics simulation not only added to the immersion, but also opened up new gameplay possibilities. Players could use the environment to their advantage, solving puzzles and taking down enemies in creative ways. This level of interactivity was pretty rare at the time and helped set a new standard for what players expected from a shooter. Overall, Half-Life 2's game mechanics and physics revolutionized the way we interacted with first-person shooters, setting a new benchmark for interactivity and immersion in gaming. Let's talk about how Half-Life 2 changed the game literally when it comes to storytelling in first-person shooters. One of the major factors that contributed to this was the enigmatic and manipulative antagonist, Dr. Wallace Breen. Voiced by Robert Culp, Breen's character was a departure from the typical one-dimensional villains often found in shooter games. His compelling monologues, philosophical musings, and complex motivations challenged players to think beyond the usual shoot-'em-up gameplay. Breen's presence in the game added layers of moral ambiguity and political intrigue, elevating the narrative to a whole new level. His calculated and persuasive nature made players question their own role in the game's events, and added a sense of intellectual engagement that was rare in the genre at the time. As players progressed through the game, the enigma of Dr. Breen and the secrets he held became a driving force behind the storyline, making for an immersive and unforgettable gaming experience. The inclusion of a character like Dr. Breen in Half-Life 2 showcased the potential for deeper storytelling within the shooter genre, setting a new standard for narrative excellence in video games. His impact on the game's storytelling demonstrated that shooters could be more than just mindless action, and opened the door for a new era of narrative-driven gameplay. Now that we've talked about the game's development and gameplay, let's dive into the cultural impact and lasting legacy of Half-Life 2. This game wasn't just a commercial hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. Half-Life 2 revolutionized the gaming industry in so many ways. It set new standards for storytelling, character development, and immersive gameplay. The game's physics engine was mind-blowing at the time, and it inspired other developers to push the boundaries of what was possible in game design. But Half-Life 2's impact went beyond just the gaming world. It influenced popular culture, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and even music. The game's iconic characters and settings became ingrained in our collective imagination, and its influence can still be felt in games released today. And let's not forget the legacy it left behind. Half-Life 2 paved the way for future game developers to innovate and push the medium forward. Its impact can be seen in countless modern titles, and its influence will continue to be felt for years to come. So, as we look back at Half-Life 2, it's clear that this game wasn't just a shooter. It was a game changer that left an indelible mark on the gaming industry and popular culture as a whole. So, here we are, still waiting for Half-Life 3. It's been over a decade since the release of Half-Life 2, and fans have been holding their breath for the next installment. There have been rumors, leaks, and plenty of speculation, but nothing concrete has materialized. The anticipation and the disappointment of false alarms have become part of the Half-Life experience. The longer the wait goes on, the greater the expectations seem to grow. Fans have been imagining all kinds of possibilities for the next game, from mind-blowing graphics to innovative gameplay mechanics. The bar has been set so high that it's hard to see how any game could meet those expectations. It's almost become a running joke in the gaming community. Is Half-Life 3 ever going to happen? And yet, there's still a glimmer of hope that one day, Valve will surprise us all with the announcement we've been longing for. In the meantime, the legacy of Half-Life continues to influence the gaming industry, from its impact on storytelling and game design to its dedicated modding community. Half-Life 3 may be the elusive unicorn of the gaming world, but the impact of the series is undeniable. So for now, all we can do is continue to hold out hope and keep the spirit of Half-Life alive as we eagerly await the day when we can finally return to the world of Gordon Freeman. So, as we wrap up, I want to take some time to address a few listener questions. We had a lot of great feedback, and I'd like to take a moment to delve into a couple of the key points that were raised. One listener asked about the impact of Half-Life 2 on the gaming industry as a whole. It's a really important question because in many ways, Half-Life 2 set a new standard for storytelling and immersion in first-person shooters. It paved the way for so many games that followed, influencing everything from level design to narrative structure. So it's safe to say that Half-Life 2 really did change the game for the entire industry. Another question that came up quite a bit was the enduring legacy of Half-Life 2. It's been nearly 2 decades since the game was released, and yet it still holds a special place in the hearts of gamers everywhere. I think that's a testament to just how groundbreaking it was at the time, and how its impact continues to be felt to this day. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for all your questions and feedback. Keep your eyes and ears open for our next episode, where we'll be diving into another iconic game that changed the landscape of gaming. Until then, happy gaming. Thanks for listening to this episode of Pixel Quest, where we delved into the legacy of Half-Life 2 and how it transformed the world of first-person shooters. We hope you enjoyed learning about the impact that this game had on the gaming industry and its lasting influence. Next time on Pixel Quest, we'll be exploring the rise of indie games and their impact on the gaming landscape. From cult classics to breakout hits, we'll be discussing the unique appeal and creativity behind indie games. Be sure to tune in for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to Pixel Quest on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye for now.